You know that moment when someone says, "I'll never marry again," and you just stop and wonder, what happened? Why would someone say that? Especially someone who seems to have it all? Well, that's exactly what's going on with Lily Rose Depp right now. Yeah, that Lily Rose. The daughter of Hollywood royalty, Johnny Depp and Vanessa Paradis. She's been in the spotlight since she was a child. She's done movies, walked runways, and been part of fashion campaigns that most people only dream about. But right now, people aren't talking about her work. They're talking about something way more personal, something straight from her heart. She recently shared something that caught everyone off guard. She said she might never marry. And even more surprising, she said her dad will always come first. Now, before we jump to conclusions or think it's just another Hollywood headline, there's more to this story than meets the eye. So let's take a breath and really dig in. Because what she said touches on something a lot of us can relate to: love, loyalty, family, and finding balance in a world that never stops watching. And honestly, by the end of this, you might just rethink what family first really means. So, here's how it all started. In a recent interview, Lily Rose opened up about her views on love and marriage. She said something that made people stop scrolling and start thinking. She said, "I've seen what love can do, and sometimes, it's not the fairy tale people think." Let that sink in for a second. Most of us grow up learning about love by watching our parents. We see how they treat each other, how they argue, how they make up, and how they stay, or don't stay, together. It shapes us more than we realize. For Lily Rose, growing up in the spotlight meant seeing those lessons play out in public. She lived through her parents' love story and their separation, and later, her dad's very public legal battles. That kind of experience changes how you see relationships. It makes you think twice about trust, privacy, and emotional safety. So when Lily Rose said her dad comes before anyone else, it wasn't just a casual comment. It was a window into what she values most. When she was asked about her priorities, she didn't hesitate. Her dad, Johnny Depp, comes before any romantic relationship. And honestly, that says a lot. For her, loyalty isn't just about who you love, it's about who's been there when things got tough. When her dad went through one of the hardest times in his life, she stood by him. Quietly, respectfully, but firmly. And that kind of loyalty? It doesn't just come out of nowhere. It's built on years of trust and shared experiences. It's built on seeing someone fight through storms and still stand tall. Lily Rose learned something powerful: sometimes, family becomes your anchor when the world turns against you. And who can't relate to that? Even if your version of Hollywood drama is just your own everyday life, stress, work, relationships, there's always that one person, that family member or friend, who grounds you when everything feels chaotic. That's what her relationship with her dad represents. Stability. Trust. Love that doesn't fade when things get complicated. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. When Lily Rose said she might never marry again, people assumed she was rejecting love altogether. But she's not. She's just redefining it. See, she's not saying love isn't important. She's saying love doesn't have to fit into a specific box. It doesn't have to end in a wedding. It doesn't need a certificate or a big white dress to be real. And in today's world, where everyone posts perfect relationships on social media and rushes into things just for validation, that message hits hard. Lily Rose is saying, I don't need to prove love to anyone. And honestly, that's kind of refreshing. It's not about being anti-marriage. It's about being pro-self-awareness. It's about understanding that love should come from a place of security, not pressure. And that brings us to a couple of myths that people often believe about relationships like this. Myth number 1, if you don't want to marry, you're afraid of commitment. Wrong. Sometimes, choosing not to marry is actually an act of strength. It's self-awareness, not fear. It's about knowing what you want and not settling for something that doesn't feel right just because everyone else is doing it. And myth number 2, putting family first means you can't have love. Also wrong. Love comes in many forms: romantic love, family love, friendship, self-love. They don't cancel each other out. In fact, when they're balanced, they can make each other stronger. Now let's talk about something experts often mention: our first experience of love comes from our parents. That's the foundation. A therapist once said something that fits perfectly here: we repeat what we don't repair. That means if we don't heal from what we saw growing up, whether it was conflict, distance, or heartbreak, we might unknowingly repeat those same patterns in our own lives. And maybe that's exactly what Lily Rose is trying to avoid. By setting emotional boundaries and putting her healing in her family first, she's not pushing people away. She's protecting her peace. That's not cold, it's actually one of the healthiest things you can do. Because think about it. How many times have people rushed into relationships just to fill an emotional gap? Only to find out later that love can't fix what's unhealed? Lily Rose seems to understand that better than most. She's seen the highs and lows of fame, love, and heartbreak, all while growing up in the public eye. So now, she's choosing something different. She's choosing to heal before she hurries. And maybe that's the real love story here. It's not about finding the one. It's about becoming the one who feels whole on their own. And that's something we can all learn from. You know, people often think that self-awareness takes years of therapy or complicated exercises. But really, it starts with simple things. Reflecting on what hurts. Understanding your triggers. Talking things out instead of burying them. Therapy can help, sure, but self-awareness? That's totally free. It just takes honesty. And that's exactly what Lily Rose is practicing: honesty with herself. She's been through a lot, seen a lot, and instead of becoming bitter or cynical, she's chosen peace. She's chosen to focus on family, personal growth, and emotional freedom. It's not the fairy tale most people expect, but maybe that's what makes it real. Because not every story needs a wedding to have a happy ending. So here's something to think about: when Lily Rose says her dad comes first, she's not just talking about family ties. She's talking about loyalty, gratitude, and respect for the person who's been her constant support. For years, Johnny Depp's relationship with the media has been complicated, to say the least. Through it all, Lily Rose has navigated that world with grace. She's protected her privacy, stayed focused on her career, and supported her father without feeding the drama. That says a lot about her character. It's easy to forget that behind the headlines and red carpets, she's still just a person trying to figure out life, like the rest of us. And maybe that's what makes this story so powerful. It's not about Hollywood fame. It's about something we all understand: the desire to protect what matters most. Maybe you've had times where you had to choose between love and family. Or between what people expect and what feels right to you. It's never an easy choice. But Lily Rose's story reminds us that choosing yourself, choosing peace, isn't selfish. It's necessary. So let's recap what this really means. She's not giving up on love. She's just choosing to love in a way that's healthy, grounded, and private. She's not turning her back on relationships. She's saying, I'll love, but I'll do it my way. And honestly, that's something we all deserve: the freedom to love without pressure. So here's a question for you. Do you believe family should always come first? Or do you think love sometimes deserves to take the lead? I'd love to know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I genuinely enjoy reading your perspectives. And if you found this story interesting, you'll definitely want to check out our next video: Why Hollywood's Most Private Stars Stay Single. It's all about the hidden side of fame, relationships, and why some of your favorite celebrities are choosing to live life on their own terms. Before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps us grow this community, and it means you'll never miss our deep dives into stories that go beyond the headlines. Because at the end of the day, that's what we love doing here. Exploring the real, human side of fame, success, and everything in between. So as we wrap this up, remember this: sometimes love doesn't look like a wedding or a perfect Instagram post. Sometimes love is about showing up for yourself, setting boundaries, and choosing peace. Sometimes, love means choosing yourself first. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.